I'm glad Senator Gilroy just mentioned that he's ambitious for our young people. I'm glad that when we had the presidency, the EU presidency, we championed the Youth Guarantee and that it was agreed under the watch of our own ministers. As an EU member state with one of the highest rates of young people not in employment, education or training, it is fitting that we would lead the charge to help young people. But I found that once the parades were over, once July came, once the fanfare, the press conferences, the ministerial briefings and the mantle was passed, that we actually dropped the ball. And boy, did we not drop it spectacularly from what was announced today for the Minister. In fact, I don't even know where to start with it, but I'm going to give it a shot. Minister Noonan opened his speech with some Yeats, so I'll do the same. I know I've used this quote a number of times. He said, Yeats mentioned that it's no country for old men, but this budget actually proves that it's no country for young men or young women. And, you know, I have to say that some of the rhetoric that's been going around the last couple of months in terms of youth unemployment, the youth guarantee, it makes it look like the ministers and the government have been talking out both sides of their mouth. We heard about the need for a well-resourced guarantee. We heard that young people are our future. We heard that youth unemployment was such a plague on our society and our economy that we do need to address it urgently. Give young people their say, let them have their independence, prevent emigration, prevent the loss of skills and talent, prevent a lost generation. But as we've seen, we've spent the last 6 months talking the talk on the youth guarantee and the youth unemployment, but when it actually came to walking the walk, the government fell over the boots that they've gotten too big for. And I suppose what made my stomach lurch earlier more than anything was when I heard that the allocation for the youth guarantee was only €14 million. That was it. Now, only a number of months ago, senators in this chamber and TDs in the other chamber welcomed this report that I did on the youth guarantee. It was a cross-party report, it was built on consensus and fed in from youth organisations. And we called for the Swedish model of the youth guarantee to be implemented here in Ireland. So that would have been €6,600, as Senator Van Turnhout mentioned earlier, per participant. But what do? As I have already mentioned, you know, we champion this guarantee, so what would Ireland do? We allocated €260.22 for each young person officially unemployed. Now, those quarterly national household survey figures would be relatively conservative and wouldn't actually take into account young people who aren't actually engaged with the public employment services. So I would like to ask, why is it that a person who's aged between 18 and 25 can vote, pay taxes, contribute to society in other ways, be held responsible for their actions, but be treated completely differently to someone who's 10, 20, 30 years their senior when it comes to themselves being impoverished and trouble? And this is, in my opinion, discrimination in its most blatant guise. And Minister Joe Costello, in my opinion, was very right with the Social Welfare Bill of 2010, which contained cuts to job seekers for young people, when he said, a whole generation of young people are being shunned by the government of their country. They are being told that they are a burden and not wanted. They must leave the country or live in dire poverty. But who actually thought that a Labour minister then would perpetuate this policy of age discrimination that was first introduced by Fianna Fáil and slash youth job seekers again? And Minister Burton herself was right when she says, what else has austerity done? It has brought the return of the emigrant plane. Well, good thing the air travel tax was cut today, because the emigrant plane is back again, and this government has made sure that those who can actually afford to leave, because we have to remember, emigration isn't open to everyone, and those who can't afford to leave are actually going to live in poverty. Now, in September this year, Labour leader Eamon Gilmore made a promise to young people across the state. He said that the generation that did so little to create this crisis should not be the ones to pay the highest price. Today, just over a month later, a Labour minister has done the very opposite. He's not only punished young people for a crisis they did not create, but he's ensured that the only guarantee this government will give to young people is emigration. So today, in my opinion, is a bad day for Fine Gael, for Labour, and it's a bad day for our country. It is a bad day for young people.
Thank you, sir.